Eileen White Swan. Welcome to the Mysterious Domain Tarot Card Readings. As you can see, I've got 5 separate readings here, and these are timeless readings. So whichever video you choose and whatever deck you choose, it doesn't matter when, it's the right time for you to get this reading. And so the deal is you'll pick one of these, and I haven't focused on any particular aspect of life, so it'll be whatever's really up for you that you may not even be aware of. We'll put timestamps in the comments about when each one begins, and let's go. Now this is my Tuatha de Danaan Tarot deck, the big one, called Deluxe Tarot. And this is one of the significators, and I just, want to follow the white stag into the dark forest and see where he takes us. So we're going to do a Celtic cross. This is covering you. This is crossing you. This is the internal influence, the external influence, the hidden influence, the understanding. We have you, how other people see you, your hopes and fears, and your outcome. So, covering you, the Emperor reversed, crossed by the 5 of Spears, or the 5 of Wands. I think this card in some ways could speak for a lot of people who feel that the emperors of the world, the rulers of our world, have turned on us and put us on almost a combative footing, a warlike footing, whatever you want to call it, causing people to fight with each other, causing clashes. And because the ruler, the leader, is weak or corrupt or both, it's interesting because if this is your personal reading, then it means that someone in authority has turned on you, is being a negative force in your life, and it's making you feel pretty angry. The internal influence is the world upside down. Yes, and when our leaders are weak and corrupt and not being a proper archetype of a king or an emperor, the world is upside down. It's as if nothing can complete. All the plans you had, all the desires you had, all your goals have been, you don't know what's going to happen. You can't count on anything. It's like, how are you going to complete anything when the world is upside down? And it also puts the God, this is the goddess, this is the Virgin Mary with Jesus, puts her into the underworld. Into the underworld. There's our divine feminine is in the underworld too. We get this other kind of feminine, quote feminine, that's far from divine. And the real divine, true feminine force is being tossed into the abyss. External influence is the stars. So there's an astrological component to this. And if this is an individual, to me, this is seeming like a kind of a global reading, but if you're an individual, because these are major arcana, which means that these are forces beyond your control, you feel very caught up in the drama of the world, but if it's a personal thing, you still feel caught up in the drama of the world. But the star is always a card of hope. And the fact that as difficult as it might be and as frustrating as it might be right now, externally there is a force that is pouring the blood and the water of Christ into the river of life. There's still a swan, there's still a benign and supportive force that is striving to heal what went wrong with our planet over here. And the hidden influence is the Maiden of Spears. So there's new energy coming. There's a herald. This is like a herald of new energy, of good tidings. Because when she brings in the Spear of Longinus or the Spear of Lu, it goes with this card. It's like a weapon. It's like a weapon of divine power for you. There's that the inspiration, you know. The fire brings illumination, it brings warmth, it brings light, it brings the light. The understanding is the Eight of Swords. So this is when your mind is going in a circle, in a circle, in a circle, and you feel trapped. So what I would gather from this is that, yes, these things are happening. The world is upside down. The leadership is upside down. It's frustrating and you're angry. But your fears are unfounded, and this always comes up for me. We're in the Truman Show, right? We're in a drama that's played out, and it seems more and more like politics, especially on the news. It's always on the media, right? There's always media going on, and a lot of it's not even accurate. A lot of it is illusionary. It's lies, and they're taking footage from years and years ago, for instance, in Ukraine, and they're putting it on the news like as if it's happening now. Or they've done things like taken footage from films and put it on the news to say this is what's going on, to scare you. And so your mind is, you're worried and you're going, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to be abducted into the underworld just like the goddess, you know. And here you are, you're worried about the financial, you're worried about losing your lifestyle, Nine of Pentacles reversed. You're worried that you won't be able to provide for your family or your whatever, yourself. So you're feeling that it's just going to hit you in the pocketbook, which of course we see that is actually happening all around us. This is also an Earth card, so it is happening, literally. But you've got to have some fight in you. And if you have some fight in terms of energy, it's fire, it's energy, it's inspiration, it's like courage. How people see you is a sensitive Queen of Grails, a Queen of Cups. But you know, the thing with this Queen of Cups, a Queen of Grails, is Dindrain, and she's like a goddess. She's like a saint. She's a divine feminine, and she's right side up. So even though on the worldly level this divine feminine is in the underworld, or she's upside down, this divine feminine is powerful. She may have a very strong psychic ability, or she's a very strong nurturing presence, or she's able to transcend because in the story, Dindrain gives her blood to this queen so the queen can live. It's a little bit Elizabeth Bathory, I think, but anyway, she dies in the process, but she's not really dead. Her spirit animates the Grail ship, and she helps the knights to complete the Grail quest, particularly Sir Galahad. And she is very powerful, even though she looks all soft and passive and everything. She's not. Your hopes and fears, again, it's about material things, it's about the money, about financials and property. Maybe you're afraid you're going to lose your property, because there is a lot of dodgy stuff going on. And the outcome, well, the Three of Pentacles, it has, it's a collaborative work. It could be a job, afraid of losing your job, or maybe you will lose your job since it's in the outcome. But if you lose your job, it's either because you never liked it in the first place, or you're too worried. You're worrying all the time. And it's sort of like in the law of attraction, right? You get what you constantly think about. So if you're constantly thinking about the way this world is going, I'm going to lose everything, then you could lose your job. So you need to remember to be powerful. Use your imagination. It's the other thing with the Queen of Cups, her imagination. And she's got the salmon of wisdom all around her. And she is in command. Maybe outwardly in the material pentacle world, she looks like she's losing, but inside, spiritually, she's powerful. And so you need to remember, use that imagination, use that law of attraction, and don't allow yourself to get into these negative traps. Again, we're seeing, I just put those there to see, since that's an understanding card, why you're so worried, because you're afraid you're losing energy. This worry is causing you. This is like the Four of Cups. It's when people want to help you, but you're not accepting the help. That's not what I want. It's not in the package I want. It doesn't look the way I want. Or I'm just too tired and lazy. I'm too wounded. I'm too worried. I'm stressed. I can't even see that the Fairy Queen is handing me a grail, a Queen of Grail. But strength in the Chariot, my goodness, that is definitely, again, go within, find your inner strength, your immortal soul, your power over the beast. You have this. You can handle the snakes. You've got power over the beast. And the Chariot, of course, this is Kundry from Parsifal, and she's the wise woman, and she's got the Philosopher's Stone, and she's got all these heads. The head with the swords, that's the mind, right? All these heads encased in gold. So she has overcome the overthinking and overdwelling and overworrying, and she's going from her soul, like these white stags are taking her forward, and she's got the Philosopher's Stone, and she's got the doves on her cloak, and she's got the Holy Grail emblem on her head. So and the serpents of wisdom for hair, like she's like a Medusa, but she's a benign Medusa in the sense that those are serpents of wisdom, and he's got the serpents. So the serpents in his hand, and then the serpents in her hair. So there's and she's also another aspect of the divine feminine, but she's upright and she's moving forward. So if you've got a partnership or a relationship and you've been afraid you're going to lose that, well, if this Knight of Spears was upright, I would say you probably are going to lose these things. But the reason I know why they're fears is because he's reversed, which means he's not running away, he's not relocating, he's not escaping, he's not dashing off. You know, and the Empress being, the High Priestess being reversed is sort of like your intuition is off. If you think this is your intuition telling you all these bad things are going to happen, it's off. It's wrong. You know, this is not, it's not operational. And I think maybe with these two cards, you know, the Five of Swords with the Tower, I think you've heard of people or you've known people that have been going through a rough time. You know people who've been affected by all of this, and so you feel that it's going to happen to you too, but you don't know what's perhaps been going on in their psyche the whole time before their disaster struck. And it's also maybe if you've been hearing that, you know, it's going to turn into Mad Max out there in the world, it's going to turn into Road Warrior, and it's going to break and shatter everything. Well, you know, that's what they're trying to do, and it's what they're trying to get you to believe. But I would say that there are always people who manage to get through the storm. And to me, what this reading is showing is the key to getting through the storm is to not allow yourself to buy into the fear porn, and to not let yourself look at other people and that they've been ruined, and that means you're going to be ruined. I think you need to pull in, take a hold of yourself. You have power in the situation, you have strength, and you are getting new messages coming in that support that, like including this reading. Maybe whoever you're worried about leaving you is not leaving you. They're not going anywhere. That intuition is off. But again, when the High Priestess is reversed too, again, she's like this. She's in the underworld, but the High Priestess being in the underworld is different than the Goddess or the World card being in the underworld, because her reflection is upright. If her physical seemingly body is upside down, her reflection in the water makes her look upright. So, but she's from behind the veil, she's behind the water. To me, you've just gotten out of touch with your true intuition because external things have scared you. So I hope that helps, and I certainly hope you can take advantage of the advice in these cards. Thank you for listening. Now, number two. Okay. So these cards are the large Tuatha de Danaan cards with a linen finish, which is kind of nice. So this is covering you, crossing you, internal influence, external influence, hidden influence, understanding you, how other people see you, your hopes and fears, and your outcome. White stag now. you feel like you want to make peace with everything. You're the peace person. You want to bring love. You want to bring, you're a pure soul. I mean, I just feel from this card, and this Maiden of Grails or Page of Cups is a pure soul. She's genuinely wants to give something beautiful to the world. And she's crossed by the Hierophant, which is that she, in some respects, you're helped by tradition, and you're also hindered by tradition, because what's gone into the tradition in the past was what supported your type of personality or your type of desire. But now our institutions and our traditions have become invaded by darkness. So there are things that are in reverse, and things that are jumbled up, and things that are, but I would say too, because the Hierophant is a major card, that the Hierophant is like also like a spiritual guide for you, an inner teacher. And your internal influence has to do with work. And your external influence is having to do with the fact that you're really bored of your job. So you've attained a certain level of proficiency at your work with the Eight of Pentacles. You have achieved something. This is Parsifal. He killed the Red Knight. Nobody wanted the Red Knight to die, but Percival being Percival, he killed him anyway and got his red armor. So he's replacing a beloved and admired knight, and going through the ceremony of that. So it was his initiation into being a knight. And over here, so you know your stuff with whatever it is you're doing for a career and everything, but this is the harvest that doesn't quite come through. You gave up before you should have, or you just lost ambition. You've lost your energy towards this work. You don't want to do it anymore. The hidden influence is you've been meditating, you've been going within. This has happened to a lot of people, of course, during the lockdowns, that you've gone inside and you found something in yourself that made this not be interesting to you anymore, that makes you want to strike out and find something new that's closer to your heart. And here Merlin, he's working with the herbs and the crystals, and he's sorting through, because he is like a kind of a healer and a doctor in many ways, and he has these swords to protect his space, the crystal cave. The understanding is, okay, what do I do? Maybe you don't have the money to just quit your job. Also, it feels like you have a sense of what you'd like to do. Like in your heart, you've touched on something that's meaningful to you, but you're not feeling confident financially to just say, quit your job and go pursue something, because you're not quite sure what it is. And here's you, the Hermit. So see, the Hermit kind of goes with the hidden influence. I think you've been doing spiritual things. You've been doing meditations. You've been doing studying on spiritual things. Maybe you've been studying healing, and you've been working in that area. And you've learned a lot, because I feel that in this Hermit energy is a lot of wisdom coming out of this. You have really learned a lot, and you just realize you do have a talent for this stuff that you've been exploring. And you're between the green and burning trees, so it's kind of like this in the sense that when the trees are green, it feels safe. When the tree's on fire, it doesn't feel safe. But there's a moment in which they switch, and it's in the moment when the trees switch, when the tree that's burning and the tree that's green switch sides, and you can go through. That's one of the ways you get into the fairy. And how people see you as they see you as an executive, decisive force. They see your new ideas. They see that you're here looking at your possibilities. You're King Arthur looking at the Excalibur coming out of the lake. Ace of Swords. I see the magic in that sword. People know that you have something. Here's your swords here all around you in the cave. So you're getting acknowledgement from people in the environment. Your hopes and fears. Yeah, you're afraid the Three of Swords reversed is like, again, the swords are kind of illusionary because they're in your mind, but you're worried maybe I'm not a good communicator, or maybe I'm going to get enemies, or maybe I'm going to get people who are going to be jealous of me if I succeed, or maybe you've had this happen in the past. Maybe when you hit your stride in your current position that you had attracted jealousy and gossip. But that's nothing to, don't worry about that. So the Four of Wands upside down as an outcome, it just means that you ain't getting on the bus. Here's the train coming, saying, okay, here's the train. I know you don't feel quite confident yet. The train's here, it's docking in the station, and you're just letting it go by. Why are you letting it go by? Oy, oy, oy. You know, I've known a lot of Cancerians in my life, and one thing that they do is they don't get their hopes up because they don't want to be disappointed. And so, emotionally, you're walking away from a potential situation. Now, the Eight of Cups or the Eight of Grails is the Lady of Shalott. You know, she's crashed through the mirror out of love for Sir Lancelot, and she goes on the boat, and Sir Lancelot sees her, and he goes, oh, what a pity, she's so beautiful. Then he gets on with his life. It's a kind of another image of missing the train if you're not careful. So this says to me, you got to get your emotions in order. You got to have a glass half full attitude. And if someone around you is not being supportive, you've got to, there are people who are supportive. Now, so you might have a major person in your life who's not supportive, or it could be even your lack of confidence. You know, it's like they say, feel the fear and do it anyway. Because I would say that you have a lot of, maybe you need to stay here long enough to save up some money or to get something started. We're in a Mercury retrograde right now, right? So this is a good time to perhaps get something, plan it out, you know, and then when the Mercury retrograde's over, get started, because we've got a lot of really good energy with Mars and Jupiter and Aries to get things off the ground. Definitely. You've got people around you also who are telling you to cool your jets, be sensible, be practical, and putting a damper on the fire that's in your heart and the deep study that you've done and the Excalibur that's out. So you have got a lot of people around you trying to make you stay in the security of this. I don't know how it works for everybody. Some people seem to be able to stay in the same lane for their entire life. I personally have never been able to do that. But in your case, you at least, well, you have to make a decision. That's another thing with the Ace of Swords. You have to decide. You can't just juggle and waffle. You got to decide. In the process of deciding, you know, maybe you won't go forward. But if you don't go forward, you're not going to get the reward. It's as simple as that. If you do go forward, it's a risk. But at least this is inevitable anyway. At some point, this is just not going to be viable for you anyway. And you're going to kick over the fence and run away. And that could be a disaster. Whereas if you take this measured approach that the cards are suggesting, take the measured approach and make the shift. Because this suggests to me you have the emotional maturity, which means you just have to stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself. Don't worry what other people think. And there are people who think you just got to make a decision. So I hope that helped. And that you can do something with that advice. And thank you for listening. I really hope that's not too confusing. Sometimes the cards reflect a confusing situation, which that is. That is a confusing situation, but it is showing you a way forward. This is reading number 3. It's covering you, it's crossing you. Internal influence and external influence. Hidden influence, understanding you, how people see you, hopes and fears, and outcome. Ace of Pentacles upside down, crossed by the Three of Cups, Three of Grails. I'm not quite sure. What's the internal influence? The Sun reversed. So you're in a bit of a depressive spot. I look at this and I feel like the shield of Gawain, which is a protective item, tells me you feel unprotected, you feel vulnerable. And the Three of Cups can be vulnerable because it's a moon sign, it's a feminine sign, it's very gentle, it's very soft. And it also could suggest you need healing, because the Sun being reversed is also, the Sun is going down. You may feel internally like the Sun is going down on my life, and I'm a Nine of Swords and I can't sleep at night because I'm so worried and I'm depressed. But sometimes when the Sun goes down on part of your life, it also is coming up on another part of your life internally. So this is, to me, a person who feels very vulnerable. The hidden influence could be health. Maybe your money and your health are just really in the dumps. The understanding is you're looking for a way to get out of this situation. Because the Five of Pentacles reversed, it's the Five of Pentacles, which is about poverty, illness, feeling out in the cold, but at the same time it's reversed. So this is you seeing the light. If you can just get through this bit, if you can just get out of this part and get on your feet again, maybe you feel good and get something going, you can see the sword, the Six of Swords, you can see a way forward. And you've got a guidance, and you've got a sword, and you've got a fire, and you've got this dog to help you. He's Anubis, like he can see in the dark. He's a spirit, and maybe he's a death god, but the death of the Sun going down, the death of this depression you're suffering, this vulnerability that's too much, you see that you can get across where the Holy Grail castle is. Yeah, you're the Hangman, again, suggesting illness, lack of energy, of feeling just stuck, feeling stuck. And being a Hangman, these two, again, being major arcana cards, which are forces beyond your control, is a lesson in here about going into the depth, going into the underworld. Sometimes, I used to hear all the time, if you're depressed, the way to get over it is to go through it and just get it over with, get on the other side of it. Right now, you're feeling really disillusioned or demoralized. Nobody's helping you. Maybe you won't accept help because the Six of Pentacles, this is the people around you. Nobody's helping you. But either you won't accept help, or they see you're malingering, or they interpret your behavior as malingering and they don't want to help you. Your hopes and fears, you're looking for the Six of Grails, you're hoping to reunite with your own soul. That's how I feel about this. This is Taliesin. His wife was stuck in the underworld, and he played the harp to get her to come out, to get the god of the underworld to let her come back. And that can also be, which he did. She's not supposed to ever look back. In the Orpheus story, Eurydice looks back, and so Orpheus loses her to Hades. But in the Taliesin story, she did not look back, and so he's reunited. So to me, it just feels like a soul retrieval too, though, where you're hoping to bounce back out of this. But you're doing it all alone. You're trying to do it by yourself. Maybe there would be people who would want to help you, but you're not seeing it. You're not letting them. And the outcome, that's just the Eight of Spears, which is about, that's like it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be quick. If you're waiting on some money, or sale of a property, or some way because this is all money concerns as well. If you're waiting for money, don't wait for money. Don't wait for it. That's two. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So you're going to have to take a leap of faith like the Fool The Fool just has no idea what could happen to him, and he just walks off the cliff and something carries him over it, right? Something's going to carry you through this. But don't count on material assistance. This is your lesson, apparently. To be on the ground, to be down, to feel vulnerable and scared and not know what to do. To know that you can envision a way forward and nobody helps you. You have to do it yourself. And the Magician with the 10 of Cups, I mean, really. Okay, this is your lesson. You have to overcome the negativity that's gripped you right now, and the fear, the depression, whatever. You've got to keep a vision of the way forward. Not rely on other people. Have a leap of faith, and you will be really rewarded. You will find love. You will find the tools and the skills that you need to create something new, and you will be fulfilled. Often these lessons, it's like a Saturn thing, these lessons are, you're supposed to learn something, but please tell me what it is. Well, that's what the reading is doing. It's telling you what it is, right? It's telling you what it is. And this is a lesson. A lot of people get this one. This is not unusual. A lot of people get this type of lesson. Self-reliance and not giving into the dark side, which I don't think you will. I think you will follow that vision of the Grail and pursue it. Okay, I hope that helped you and made sense and something you can put into action. Thank you for listening. Okay, this is number 4. Covering you, crossing you, internal influence, external influence, hidden influence, understanding you, how people around you see you, hopes and fears and outcome. Page of Swords, 7 of Wands or Spears. Well, you're going to slay some dragons here. You're really, to me, this feels like somebody's just ready to take something on. This is the Courage card and the I can sense that something's going on around here and I'm not going to let it stop me. Internally, yes, you're a very confident person. You've won many battles. You're ready to let them throw the flaming spears at you, and you will not be discouraged. You are moving forward. You believe in yourself totally. Now the Lovers reversed is the external influence. So this could have to do with a love affair. You're not going to let this person get you down. And it could also be that you have all the energy you need to go and slay that dragon or do that thing you want to do, but then when you get out there, you can't figure out which way to go with it. You don't see the path before you clearly, which has probably never happened to you before because you're a very confident, self-assured person. And the hidden influence is the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune being in there, maybe the wheel is turning to help you have a different experience. The wheel it's spinning and turning and you don't quite know where you are on this wheel. This has also got the astrological signs on it. We're in a Mercury retrograde. This is the Gemini card. It's Mercury and Gemini going retrograde. So somehow you were moving ahead and I know where I'm going and then bang. Now what do? I don't know where's the path. Where am I going? The understanding is something you really wanted didn't happen yet. Because I don't think that can possibly be a negative card, even if it's reversed. It just means a delay. Something you really wanted, whether it's a relationship or just a meaningful choice, didn't happen. So you're a bit like, here you are. Okay, the 7 of Grail. Now you're demoralized. You're the 7 of Cups, like all these illusions and disillusions. It's like, well, this has never happened to me before. I don't know why. What's wrong? I'm depressed. I'm confused. Big Neptune swipe, right? It's a big like, oh, it's so I can't see where I'm going. Where is my prize that I was heading towards? My goal. Other people see you. They don't notice this. This is all going on in your head. Other people see you as a person who's a page. You know, you're beginning new things. You get sparks of inspiration. You're going forward. You're ready to slay the dragon. And your hopes and fears is the moon. You're so scared now. Now you've learned how the other people feel. They get knocked on their back foot. I don't know. I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to. I'm nervous now. Now that I've been hit over the head with indecision or unclarity or confusion. I'm nervous. Where do I go? Like, you need the full moon. You need the full moon light. You want to see the path. And the outcome is the Queen of Swords upside down. So what the universe is trying to do here is get you out of your head. I was going to say, must be a very left brain thinker, because you have done this all your life. You've always moved yourself forward and been brave and strong and decisive. But now you've hit this, I'm lost in the swamp. I'm lost in the fog. I can't see where I'm going. And the Queen, the swords are mental. So, the Queen is upside down. So she's telling you the water is on the top, right? She's telling you, get out of your head. Now you have to trust something other than your ego. Oh, great. King and Queen of Wands and the Judgment. To me, those people feel like they're welcoming you into, this kind of goes with this spear here, other people around you. They're kind of I feel like she's very welcoming, like a hostess, and he's there and he's a host, but he's Uther Pendragon, right? He's the host, and you want to here to slay the dragons, and the dragons are inviting you into their house, and the judgment is like a death and resurrection. So maybe the ones you're seeing as a dragon is not really a dragon, or maybe it's really your friend. You don't realize the dragon. This is it. The dragon that you set out to slay is not your enemy. This is why something is thrown a zigzag across your path, a bunch of spider webs or a bunch of, and it's not clear, because you're not supposed to slay this dragon. This dragon is here you may feel this dragon is judging you, but this is the last judgment of God. But what that's about, death and resurrection. So it's like these friendly kind of witches, in the woods, and they're throwing a path, a spell on you to wander this path, and to make you work through all your fears and judgments and emotional turmoils you're not used to, and get you out of your head and see something new, see something greater than yourself, because it's karmic. These are major arcana cards, which are about forces beyond your control, and you've got the Two of Spears, which goes again the fire, with the Justice card, to bring you into balance with the cosmos and your own soul. It reminds me of a person who's like, maybe you're a CEO of a company and you've always just done this, that, and the other thing, and I've been so successful, everything I do, and then these people, this dragon here, these people are my enemy. I gotta learn how I gotta compete with them, or I gotta get around them, I gotta confront them, whatever it is you feel you have to do that you have usually done to deal with your issues. They're not letting you confront or deal with them. They're taking you on a windy, foggy, murky path to get you out of your head, because I would say these are even divine beings, because they have this power to send you on a goose chase, as does the Wheel of Fortune. Being down here, this just tells me this is a karmic situation, to get you out of your head and realize that the people you think are your enemies are not your enemies. And then this brings you into balance to see what's real versus some program you've been running for most of your life that no longer serves you or whatever arena you're in. It's interesting. This is an interesting reading. It's really kind of fascinating. I'll probably go on about this one for an hour. Yeah, I have never seen this pattern before. So I hope it helps and you heed the advice of the cards. And thank you for listening. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I might be able to elaborate. And here's number 5. So here's what's covering you. Here's what's crossing you. Internal influence, external influence, hidden influence, your understanding, you, the people around you, hopes and fears, and outcome. Well, the Knight of Cups reversed. This is it's around you. A lot of deceptive, flirtatious people, like, the players, the people that come around and charm you, but, you can't really trust them, and they're a little bit parasitic or lazy, right? They're just emotional sponges, and but they're very charming, and you feel very burdened. You feel very burned out with this situation. It's like, I'm done with these people, or this person. Could be an individual. I'm done with this person. I'm going to put him in the crystal tower and he's not getting out. Internal influence, the Ace of Spears. Now see, with Mars and Jupiter and Aries now, you're not taking any BS from anybody. Especially this guy or this girl who's just a manipulator that's been around you. External influence. I'm not putting up with any more lies. Yeah, you're not putting up with any more lies. This person has lied to you for the last time. You see them now. You see what they've been up to. The hidden influence. Let's just see the understanding. Yeah, this is interesting because I have a feeling this person interfered with something very important to you. They've interfered with your business, and they've interfered with your friendships, and you didn't used to want to look at it. You didn't want to see it, but now you see it. You were in denial for a long time about the fact that this person in your life was not a knight in shining armor or whatever, but someone who's just using you. And they're pretty lazy too. They're the type that sits on the couch and lets you do all the work, right? And you no longer want to support that. You're not even giving it your energy anymore. You're not even giving him or her your conversation. Now here's you. You've had big disappointment. You thought perhaps you were going to go further with this person, this relationship. You thought this was going to take you places, and no. You see now, it's not. The people around you see you as a King of Swords, which is King Arthur, and you're young and possibly untested, and now you know that you can strike. You're ready to decide. You're making a decision. You're strong. You were in denial for quite a long time, but now you're strong and you see clearly. Your hopes and fears is the Queen of Pentacles. So you really, if you're a woman, I feel that you really want to settle down and do the home and the family and that all of that. That's what you really, really, really wanted. But this guy that came in here was not on your level. He wasn't the marriage material, you could say. He was like another child. He was like someone you had to take care of, and he wasn't doing anything for you, and you finally see it. And then the outcome is the Ace of Cups. So I would suggest that you've been through this pattern and you're not going to go through that anymore, because now you've seen it, you've taken charge of it, you know what you want. And so love comes in. That's like real love. I want to see something more about this. Oh, a she-devil, huh? So there was a family element here. Perhaps the mother of this individual was manipulating things behind the scenes because they saw you as a good catch and someone with a lot of money or a lot of resources. And they were hiding. To me, that Empress reversed with the Devil reversed is someone who, that's like they're hiding in the darkness, kind of like your little friend here. They're hiding behind the scenes, and they've got their eye on you as a prospect, and throwing their son out there or their kid out there as bait. And you have narrowly escaped the clutches of this kind of situation because it's not good. That's not good. That's not getting you what you want. You want to be the Queen of Pentacles. You want that house with the garden and the pets and the kids and the husband. You want all that. You want to be baking cookies on Sunday morning. You're there. That's you. So the Knight of Swords, Ten of Swords reversed, and the Death card reversed. So this just tells me that you've stopped this thing in its tracks. You could even have narrowly escaped an almost, I don't want to say a kind of a criminal-ish situation, You've managed to get out of there. And the fact you have the Ace of Cups on the end here, to me, is really a good sign that you will be able to find real love because you've seen the false one so clearly, and the death or the damage that they were going to cause you is now going to blow back on them because the death is heading straight there towards them, not you. So I feel if I tune into whoever the people are that this reading pertains to, you will be protected as long as you keep your spear and your cup inside yourself, your inner marriage, your strength and your caring strong within yourself and your goal. Keep those strong within yourself and you will get out of this. You'll skate past it. You'll get out of it. So these lessons. So I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. And like I say, if there's any questions about the reading, just ask them in the comments and I might be able to clarify. And and I'll put the time stamps in the comments. And I really thank you for coming to my Mysterious Domain Tarot card reading. I really appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.